Hi, everybody, and welcome to Hello Maria. It's me, Maria, your host, and I'm so happy you're here listening to our newest episode. Hello Maria is a podcast created to talk about everything that life throws at you. Because remember, every friendship starts with a hello. Hi, guys, we're back at it again with this newest episode. Today, we're going to be talking about the things they don't tell you about LDRs, or most commonly known, long distance relationship. For most of you, if you do know or you don't, I've been in a long distance relationship for a while now. Um, Initially, it was a long distance boyfriend that I had, and now it's my husband. Um, Due to the fact that we are in different countries, um, I'm just gonna let you know, like, it's not easy. People sometimes, I would say, that take for granted having their partner in the same place. But me being in this relationship for two almost 2 years, I've realized how much you can miss someone and how much it feels not to have that one person in the moments you deem more important in your life. Um, I'm not gonna lie, like I'm not the strongest person there is, and I'm not the coldest person it is. So sometimes I wish I could just hug someone when I'm feeling sad, and just wish I could just talk to someone when I just had a bad day. I'm not saying that this is not possible, that I cannot talk to my husband about my bad days, but it's not the same. It's not the same. And we realized in the pandemic how much we needed to connect with human beings, touch them, feel them, hug them. Having that pandemic and not being able to see your loved ones for crazy periods of time, or also not being able to just get that mother's hug for a while, because I was apart from my family for around like 6 7 months because of the pandemic. um you realize that you were taking a lot of those things for granted. um but going directly to the things that you don't know about LDR and they don't tell you, besides the obvious, people say like, oh yeah, you're not physically together because you're in a long distance relationships. Probably one of you guys are cheating, which is not always the case, but I will not say that's not sometimes the case, because of course, yeah, there's temptation, of course. And I have friends in which, yeah, they've been cheated on by their long distance boyfriends or girlfriends, and it's just a sad situation. But I'm gonna talk for the good people in here. Um, and yeah, besides talking about like cheating, one of the main causes of like having this type of like hard interaction with someone that's long distance, there's also things that you are gonna feel, and you're gonna realize that every time you're with that person physically, you're not gonna take that for granted. First of all, hugs. I just love how my husband smells. Like, I just love it. Like, it's a thing. It's a thing. What can I tell you? It's a thing. And just the fact that I can hold him every day that he's here, it's great. But when he's gone, it's just like me holding a pillow every night. And it's just weird, because I'm married now, so it's just weird having still a long distance relationship and not being able to sleep with my husband every night. It's weird. But I've been trying to just cope with that. but it's hard. It's not simple. Also, the things that they don't tell you is that there are a lot of things that you're gonna miss out, that you're not gonna enjoy, like living together or like getting to know each other while you're living together. I think that's important in relationships, but it's not as important as other things, because I think that the values that you have come from your home. So if you're messy, is because your parents were not stern enough to tell you, like, clean your room and stuff like that, you know? So those are the things that you're gonna see in your partner if they're a little bit messy. So those values were not enforced in growing up. I'm not an avid like pusher into like, oh, you have to live together prior to get married. But to each their own. But for me and for the religion I belong to, it's not a thing. You should not live with your partner prior to getting married. It's not well seen, it's not well accepted by the elders in your family and also by the community of your church. So you rather just get married pretty much sight unseen because you have not spent with the nitty gritties. And I remember that one time I was at church and the priest said that if it's not difficult, if you don't have to like tell your husband 10,000 times to pick up his clothes and put it in the dirty clothes bin, it was not meant to be easy. Like marriage is not easy, relationships are not easy. So even though you had that time in which you lived with your partner, it was going to be difficult, whether you did it before or after marriage. So that is one of the things that you're going to miss out while being in an LDR relationship, is the fact that you're not going to live together, you're not going to know each other's quirkiness, each other's peakiness, and all those type of things. Another thing, I would say, like, oof, intimacy. I'm not gonna say there's not other ways to have intimacy, but I would say that yeah, intimacy is like one of the biggest factors in which it can be positive and it can also be negative, not having intimacy at all. And that depends on like the willpower power of each of the parts involved, but it also depends on like the mindset, the mindset of the people that are in that relationship. Sex, intimacy is really important for any growing relationship. And the fact that you're not going to be intimate or having sex every time, you are just going to feel that you're missing out. And sometimes you can feel like, yeah, I'm regretting this situation, or I think that I may find something out there instead of being in this here. But if you have a quite straight mindset of what you want, this is never going to be in your mind. So going into depth with this type of things, like how I manage intimacy in long distance relationship, we talk every day, all day. We talk about even when we're going to the toilet, like there's even like my husband's gonna see me through the video cam, me going to the bathroom, and vice versa. My husband's gonna see me showering, because we have to make up for that time that we are not together doing those normal things. So we have made a method in which like we don't miss out on nobody else's life. We are in each other's life. And regarding to the sex part, there's always options. I would say there's always options to keep the fire up. There's always options to try different things. Um, uh, Having that mindset that if that's important, more important for one of the parties, trying to discuss ways in which we can just satisfy those needs. Um, and it have worked for me in the sense of just that, you know, having that enticement, you know, and having those double entendres, like with like every conversation that we have, and we keep it spicy. That every time he's here, it's wild. But the thing is that we have never lost that connection, that intimacy, that feeling that we don't belong to each other. That's how I see it. So, the next thing that they don't tell you is that time difference is a bitch. Pardon my French, but it is. And sometimes, like, well, I cannot complain that much because my time difference is just an hour. Um, when there's daylight saving, so it's an hour. They are an hour ahead. And when they fall back, they're in the same time as I am. So I cannot complain that much. But I know people in which like it's even worse. You know, I have a friend that her fiance is in California, and just imagine like they just fall back and they're like 3 hours behind us. So like every time like it's like 6 a.m., 7 a.m. him, it's already like literally dawn still there. So it's complicated, and it will complicate the time you spend together that is useful for both of us. And someone would actually have to make the sacrifice to stay up late at night or to just enjoy things that you can both do in a time in which you both can do it. Because of course, when you're at work, he's not yet at work. When she is home, you're still at work. So like that is gonna be like a little bit like there's gonna be a certain um unflexibility there. But it can be worse. Because there's some people that they are partners 7 hours ahead and stuff like that. And just imagine, like, just if you put it into context, like, yeah, it's a bitch. But the idea is to try to do things that are meaningful for both of you. Um, in the time that you guys can do it. There's gonna be a little bit of sacrificing, but it's not gonna be crazy. Another thing that I don't tell you is holidays. You're gonna miss a lot of holidays. Because it's impossible to be in every holiday every time. It's impossible. It's impossible to be for Christmas and also be at birthdays and also be at special holidays like Valentine's Day. Like you're gonna miss out on those things. I haven't had Valentine's Day. Oof, this is my third Valentine's Day that I'm not celebrating with my husband. Like we're gonna celebrate it abroad, but like it's actually it's not ideal. Like I would say, like I want the big bouquet of roses. I want the lovely hugs. I want the breakfast in bed. I want the morning sex. Like I want those things for Valentine's Day, but I right now it's just not something that we can do. We have to choose our holidays wisely, and we have to choose the things that we want to do wisely. Whether he comes for Christmas or we meet for anniversary, those things we have to like plan it really ahead. So there's no surprise in it, but like we have to plan it ahead to in order to be together. But there's never gonna be like we're gonna be together for all the holidays. So that's something like I would say that that I'm more of a family oriented person that has always been with her family and always been close to her family and the people that she loves. um Kind of like resents the fact that we are not able to spend those type of holidays together. Like I haven't spent a Christmas with my husband, and it's been 3 Christmas. Well, this year is gonna be the third Christmas, so like I don't really know. But don't get like mine and like, oh well, like this girl is never gonna see her husband. It's not like that. Like my husband is gonna be here next month. That's good. But we still and the wait, we're waiting patiently that my immigration process gets completed and I get approved in order for us to be together. So that would be like probably end of this year, beginning of the next year. I don't really know. Hope soon because it's taking a it's taking a toll on us. Like I will not lie. And there's some things like we want to do as young married couple, and one of those is having kids. Um, we're trying to make it work. It hasn't worked yet, but we try to make it work. So hopefully we can have kids soon. Even though we are in this long distance situation. Um, Another thing that I think that you are gonna miss out is road trips. I don't know, but it's something like I do like. I do like road trips. I do like traveling, and the fact that mostly is my husband visiting me, not us going somewhere else, is something that I just miss. I'm missing. Because I feel that sometimes I do stuff or I travel places that I want to show my husband, um, or share those places with him. This might not be like the most important thing for you, but for me, it's really valuable to share time singing in a car, hitting jams, sleeping, eating popcorn, eating chips, just laughing our head off. And it's just like, for me, like, it's so comforting doing road trips. And I just miss it. I just miss that. Like, I just miss not having that. And I'm so happy that, well, at least when my husband comes this March, we're gonna do a road trip. And I'm so excited for that because I just love it. Um, but yeah, the other thing that they don't tell you is that airfare is so freaking expensive. It's crazy. So the traveling is not easy. And in my case, I cannot visit my husband because I cannot travel to the US until my immigration process gets completed. So it's a little bit difficult every time because he has to come and I cannot go. Um so he has to do all the, let's say, the paying of flights and all that. And airfare has been getting more and more expensive lately. I would say that back in the pandemic, it was cheaper. Now it's almost $1,000 for him to come, which is a little bit, let's say, straining for our relationship because I would say that we we will have less trips than what we planned because the idea is to save money for our future, not to spend it on temporary things. But oh my god, I am like, we are in the same continent at least, but it's expensive. Imagine if my husband would be like, I don't know, Europe. Like I would see him like at least once a year because it's expensive. So the reality is that I I just feel that there should be like a thing. Like there should be like vouchers. I don't know, there should be like a thing for people like in this situation because like it's it's a well-known thing. Like I know people want to make money, but the thing is that what if they don't do like plans in which like you can, I don't know, get vouchers if you travel that much because it's 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 so hard. So if any airline is hearing this, please just give these people a break. Give me a break. Give me and my husband a break because we want to see each other, and the only way is going through you guys. So please. So, another thing that I would say that nobody tells you about long distance relationships is that fights do not last days. The fact that you are apart, you are able to fix things faster than when you're together. Um, I'm talking from my experience, but someone else can just relate to this because I would say that I can get mad at my husband like 12 a.m. because we discuss about something, but literally at 7 a.m., we're gonna be just fine. Because the reality is that we realize that it's not worth it to spend minutes that we are apart fighting about things that are not gonna make us closer together. It makes no sense. And we understood that. And that's why we're just like, and I think that's a good mindset to like carry on into like whenever we are together and we're gonna be physically together, because we are gonna realize that we can let things go and we can just move on from fights, and we can move on from disagreements faster, because we have this mindset that we cannot take every minute for granted. My husband and I, we have a full transparency relationship in which we share everything that we do. I even go to the doctor with my husband, talk to his doctors and stuff like that. And um, he goes with me to work sometimes, and I'm working and he is on the phone, and vice versa. When he's at work, I'm on the phone. And it's so of like we are involved in each other's life. And I know that that's something that's not gonna be like forever, because eventually we're gonna be involved in each other's life differently. But like for now, this works to have to be involved in each other's like life. And I would say that even for us, like, okay, next week is Valentine's Day. um we are trying to see if we are able to have a date, um go somewhere, just dress nicely, and just have a meal, even though it's all over the phone. Like, I would just try to do something nice, and I'm so happy that we're able to do those things. um and it's possible. So with that being said, I hope you guys have an idea of how hard and how kind of like fun, I would say, it is to be in an LDR or long distance relationship. And if you can relate to anything that I said or take an advice of anything that I said today, it will be great. And it will also be great to hear your feedback of how you are able to handle your own long distance relationships. Because maybe there's some things that you're doing that I can apply on mine. And well, I want to wish you all a happy Valentine's Day next week. And I hope you share with all your loved ones all the love you have to give. Love you guys. Thank you for listening to our latest episode. If you want to know more about my journey in this world, please follow me on social media. I'm always happy to make new friends, so don't hesitate to say hello. Because remember, every friendship starts with a hello.